Hello, everybody. This is a video for you for our syllabus. And I know a lot of you have a lot of different questions, but I'm going to try to address as many as I think will come up during the syllabus time. So I'm going to share my screen here as I have the syllabus up on the screen, and we will see what happens when I do that. Let's see, here is our syllabus, and I'm going to move this into full screen view so that you can see it. I think you may still be able to see me up in the corner over here along the way, but let's see how best we can do this. I do have some annotation possibilities, so I'm going to do my best to do this kind of stuff to highlight. This is a video that I am making for two different classes. I'm teaching two different 101 classes, but you're both on the same cycle. So there's only going to be really one difference between the two syllabi that you're going to see under the syllabus tab in your Canvas area. On the left-hand side of Canvas, you will be able to find this syllabus, and some of the things that will be different will be all in this area here. Because some of you signed up for the Tuesday-Thursday class, which is number 12. Some of you signed up for a Monday-Wednesday class, and that's number 37. But we won't worry about either of those things for our purposes, because you'll both go into the Canvas class that is there for you. There are 24 of you in each of those sections. So you'll be dealing with those people here. I have down here my instructor information. This is my phone number at my office. I don't know if it will ring through yet to let me know that things are happening. It should. If you get that phone, take a voicemail, and my email will tell me there's a voicemail. But I'm not at the office now, so I'd say your best bet to get in touch with me is going to be at my email address, which is right here, kmessick@ivytech.edu. You can also use the messaging system on Canvas, and that sends messages to this here. So pretty much you're going to get a response from me within a day. If you don't get a response within a day, then send the message again, please. I'm doing office hours via Zoom, and I know a lot of you have had questions. Do I have to come to the Zooms? The answer is no, you don't have to come to the Zooms. But this is when I'm planning generally to be available on Zoom. I'm going to be here because I had classes on campus that met during these time frames here. So I'm going to be planning to be on Zoom during these times. On Monday and Wednesday, I may leave if no one's shown up yet about 1:30 or so. So just be aware of that. On Tuesday, I'll probably leave about 12:30 if no one's shown up. But if you want me to be here during a particular time, send me an email and I'll make sure to be here at the time that I can best meet you. I'm also going to do a kind of regular check-in on Thursday evenings, because I know sometimes people have evening hours rather than daytime hours. And I'm going to do my best to be here also on Sundays from 5 to 7. So those are times that I have pushed aside everything else in my calendar so that I can be here for a Zoom meeting. Now, I'm going to open up all of my Zoom meetings to everyone in all 4 classes that I'm teaching. So there may be people there that are in your class. There may be people in another class. So far, I've only ever had 5 students in at any one time. Chances are good also, if you're in there asking questions, other people may have the same kind of question. So that's when I'm going to be available generally. Also, if you need to see me, I can make an appointment with you, and we can meet via Zoom here or any other method that's really available to us along the way. If you have any questions about me and what I'm doing, my supervisor is the department chair, Steve Arnold. This is his email. Again, his telephone, I don't know whether it's working at this time or not either. I do know, if you have technical support needs, that this Ivy line is in fact working. And if you have any kinds of technological issues that you want support with, please go to the Student Help Center. Also, you can contact our ed tech people. They have an email there, and they have a phone number. And I do know that they are actually available by phone as well. The person there is named Lisa Roberts. So please be nice to her. She's a really nice person. And they can help you with a lot of things Canvas related, also a little bit with Zoom related. If you have any kinds of issues, disability-wise or access-wise, accessibility-wise, we do have a support person, Tara Donnelly. While we look, I always I think of her as Tara. The person who was before her was Kara, now it's Tara. But do contact her. Again, probably the best way to do that right now is going to be via email. One of the things to note, we have a textbook that you do not have to pay for. Yay! You don't have to pay for it. So it is actually in Canvas under Files. It's also going to be, well, that was a bad circle there, under Files. It's also going to be in your modules. So as you go into Canvas and look at the modules, you will see that. And I'll show you a little bit at the end of this syllabus how to navigate that a little bit more. Your lab will be in part due to NASA and ESA, which stands for European Space Agency websites, but you'll also be using something called Zooniverse. And later today, I'll put up another video on Zooniverse, and I will put up some materials in the module on Zooniverse. So stay tuned for that. Course outline of record, it talks about the prereqs. This is Astronomy 101. You need to know basics about math, basics about reading and writing kinds of things. Let's see, can I actually navigate? Yes, okay. So this is in the physical sciences. We're not going to do a lot of math in this course. So one of the things that you should be aware of is that I will be doing things conceptually, but not in a lot of terms mathematically. So you're probably just sort of, ooh, that's great. Also note, I'm not going to just simply read the syllabus to you. I'm going to understand from these prereqs here that you know how to read. Another thing is that I don't know how to read. I'm dyslexic, so it's a lot of gobbledygook for me that's here. I'm trying to get my annotation thing back here. There we go. One thing I will, in fact, endeavor to read for you, though, is this portion here, which is what the catalog says about the class. It is a survey of the history of astronomy. Astronomy has been around longer than reading and writing has been around, so part of what we're going to study in this class is how we've been looking at the sky for thousands of years. Astronomical cycles and phenomenon. How many of you have noticed that the sun comes up every day? The sun goes down every night. The moon goes around in a predictable pattern. The planets go around in a predictable pattern. These cycles and phenomena are important. If you have mastered the cycle of what's happening, then you've got 90% of what you need. Astronomical instruments. What's the #1 astronomical instrument? If you've already been listening to the lectures, you'll know that telescope, which most people say, gets the bronze medal. That's #3. I'm not sure my fingers are showing up against this background. #2 is actually your eyes. #1 is your brain. There is a blind astronomer character in the movie Cosmos that was based on a book written by Carl Sagan, stars Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. Your brain is the most important instrument in astronomy. Your eyes are #2. We've been using the brain and eyes for thousands of years. We've only been using telescopes for 400 years, actually about 411 years as of today. Formation and evolution of the planets and their satellites. If evolution is a word that makes you running, screaming, and kicking, just realize that I am Father Kurt Messick. I am holier than thou. I'm chaplain at the Beltrace Retirement Community. I actually have an MDiv. I am an ordained minister. So I am happy to talk to you about the differences and the contentions between religion and science. But we'll do that a little bit outside of this course. Just realize that things change over time and things move over time, whatever time frame it is you're looking at. And that's where we use the word evolution. Things do evolve, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. But we will talk about how things formed, how we understand why and what happened in the early days of our solar system, and where we think we're going. Comparative planetology over here. Why do we study this stuff? Well, in part, we look at other planets and they have volcanoes, they have glaciers, they have atmospheres that have thickened and thinned, they have atmospheres that have dramatic storm cycles like the big red spot on Jupiter. Understanding other planets helps us to understand our own better. We'll look at asteroids, which is a great video game, but that's not what we're doing here. Comets, which is a good cleanser. Remember, wash your hands very carefully. Well, probably not with comet. Meteors, the sun, that's 99% of everything there is in our solar system. We'll get to that nearer the end for the most part. The origin of the solar system and its place in the galaxy and the universe. We'll talk a little bit about that near the end as well. So all of those things are important. Here are some bullet point issues that we will go over. I'm not going to read these to you. You can read that on your own. But just remember, bring your questions. Bring your questions. That's a very important thing to do. And a lot of the rest of these things here, we have our academic policies. We can revise the syllabus if necessary. We've had to do that now because we're doing things in a virtual situation. It will never hurt you if we revise the syllabus, just so you know. It will only ever be in your favor. So sort of like the odds. The odds are ever in your favor. The syllabus changes will also only ever be in your favor. Be honest, be truthful, be a good Girl Scout, Boy Scout, Brownie, Weebelo, whatever, along the way. Don't cheat. There's really in this class no reason to need to cheat because you're allowed to do things open book and open notes. Copyright, make sure that you cite your sources, especially if you're doing things like the Saturn that I have over here. That picture comes off of the Hubble website. Those are copyright free. You can use those anywhere. ADA statement, as I mentioned before, we do have Tara who helps with any kinds of accommodations that are necessary. Title IX also, do let us know. Title IX is not just about sports, although that tends to be what we talk about, sort of equal access for genders to different sporting events. Title IX is much more comprehensive in terms of its looking for gender equity. And in particular, you should live in an environment as best you can that's free from any kind of harassment based on your sex or gender. And probably not a lot of that's going to be happening since we're doing social distancing now in terms of anything physical, but just be aware, we are aware of those kinds of things and we really do want to take care of you and as best we can. So do let us know. We do have a Title IX coordinator on our campus. Our method of instructional delivery is supposed to be face-to-face. This is what qualifies as face-to-face right now. In terms of the Zooms and the other lectures that I will be doing. Your attendance will be logged by a few different kinds of measures. You're going to need to do assignments so that I will know what's happening. You'll also need to do things for the most part on time. In particular, this week, and this is very important for you to do, this week I have a discussion board, and the discussion board you're going to need to check in. Because over here, notice this, March 31st, that's an attendance drop deadline. If I don't have something in the discussion board or a completed quiz or something that tells me that you're active in the course, I have to turn your name in to the registrar and say, this person is a no-show. Doesn't matter that you've logged into the course, doesn't matter that you've logged into Zoom. I need for you to actually post something on the discussion board. That's going to be the easiest thing for you to do. Post something on the discussion board, and when we go into Canvas, I'll sort of show you where that is, and mark yourself as there. So that'll be very easy. Make up a policy. I'm going to be pretty lenient with the assignments this semester, although if we're halfway through the semester and you haven't done any of the grades, I'm going to start putting zeros on them, just to sort of prompt you to get into the swing of things along the way. Don't leave everything to the last 48 hours. Don't leave everything to the last week. So while I am going to be flexible on things, I'm also going to, at a certain point, if you haven't done anything and are not doing anything, start to assign some zeros in there. So make sure that you're making steady progress. That's all I want you to do. I want you to make steady progress. If you just can't stand the class anymore, May 2nd is your last date to withdraw and get an automatic W. But do keep in touch with me. That's the primary thing about this semester. In terms of grading, we grade out of 1,000 points. So 900 to 1,000 is an A, 800 to 899 is a B, 700 to 799 is a C. So all of these grades here will transfer to IU and other locations. So do keep that in mind. 600 to 699 is a D. I will round up, so if you're sitting at 698, yeah, I'll probably give you a C. If you're sitting at 649, chances are good I won't. So be aware that close is good in astronomy. I will say that quite frequently. Close is good on your grades as well. One of the things that will be a primary piece of your grading will be the quizzes. There will be one each week. So you'll see, actually there will be 2 each week. There will be 1 for each chapter. Those are one-shot deals, but they're not timed. So once you open it up, you can open up notes and other kinds of things and use those as well. We will be having some current events magazine reports. Lots of magazines are available online. Astronomy magazine, Sky and Telescope magazine, Discover magazine, other magazines. We'll also have librarians who can help us with that. And I'll post up something probably in the week 2 or week 3 module for you to follow that. There will be a midterm exam that will cover chapters 1 through 9. That's a rather sad 9 there, sorry. And so you'll have the midterm. It'll be open for at least 2 weeks for you to do. It will have a deadline, unlike the quizzes, which won't have deadlines. Then there's a final project, and I will be putting up information about the final project probably in week 3 so that you can begin to look at the topics and see what you want to do. Most people do a PowerPoint or a paper, but if there's something else that you think you can do in this format, let me know. Then there will be 8 labs, and we'll mostly be using Zooniverse and NASA and ESA materials for that. Your first lab will be to sign into the Zooniverse website, and I will show you in a different video how to do that. And then you'll be looking at the different kinds of things that are available for you to work on. All of that adds up to 1,000 points. There will also be occasionally extra credit. Now, usually I would assign people to go to the Kirkwood Observatory for extra credit, but it's closed. It's closed for the rest of the semester. Also, we might have a movie night, but we're also closed on our campus for the rest of the semester. So I'm going to try to come up with a couple of alternative extra credit things for you to do. There will be at least 1 or 2 extra credit quizzes that you can do as well. So there will be different ways of getting some points. So we have 8 weeks. We'll have basically 2 chapters per week. We'll have a quiz for each chapter, as you sort of see over here. So you'll have lectures from me via video for each of the chapters. I'll do a little Zoom video. I did for chapter 1 a PowerPoint with audio on each of the files or on each of the slides. That turned into a really big file, and I'm sorry about that. And about the only way you can listen to that is to actually download the file onto your computer and open it up with PowerPoint. You can't actually listen to it from just watching it online. So I apologize for that. I'm going to see if I can do something different to replace it. The Zoom videos work like YouTube videos. You just click on it and play, and it should just play for you the way a YouTube video would play for you. If for whatever reason it's not, again, go back up here and chat with the people at our help desk and our online support. I'm actually not a very technically savvy person when it comes to how computers operate. And I will freely admit I have absolutely no hope trying to navigate how your computer and your internet connection and your software are going to work with Canvas. I simply don't have that expertise. That's why we have those other people who are there. So there may be additional readings that I'll put up. I'll put up some links in our modules. I'll also be putting up some YouTube videos and other videos for you to see. Science is happening every day. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, I don't mind you doing that. Some students have done that. You can contact me on Messenger there as well. Be prepared for a couple of different things if you do that. There are lots of cat videos, there are lots of humor videos, there are the occasional political videos or political links or other kinds of things, because that's where my social life is right now. So I don't mind you following me on Facebook. I don't mind you friending me on Facebook. It's just one more way to contact. I would advise you, if you're interested in doing that, you might take a look, just scroll through the different kinds of things I've posted and see whether or not you want to follow me or not. You may actually friend me but unfollow me, because I do post up quite a bit there. We'll be doing, as I mentioned, labs through Zooniverse and other things. My commitment to you, instructor commitment, as it says here, I will respond to you. Oh, let's get rid of that there. Within 36 hours. Actually, I will probably respond to you within the course of the day. If you contact me in the evening, you'll get a response probably the next morning. I just leave my email up on my computer nonstop. And I'm the only one who lives here. I live alone. I don't even have a cat anymore. So nobody's competing for the computer time. So it stays up there, and it sends me a message whenever there's an email, an audio message. So if I'm anywhere around, I'll see it. Also, you can use our inbox in the Ivy Learn Canvas area. That's pretty much the Canvas messaging coordinating with the email systems. You can actually set notifications so that you get a notification whenever there's an update, like when I post up an announcement, or I post up a module, or I post up something different along the way. So be aware of those. College behavior, student behavior, college policy, student behavior. Disruptive behavior, I'm not really sure how much that will be necessary in this format, but as you're in discussion boards, for example, do be sort of courteous towards each other. Don't be disparaging or anything like that along the way. I will delete messages if I need to, if things are getting testy, but I don't think there's going to be too much of a problem with that. We don't have too much contentious stuff in astronomy. Again, we have disability services. We have the library. We have the library's website. So I'm going to say, keep this sort of thing handy here, especially as you look for things for your final project. The librarians are working from home, but they are actually working, and they have a lot of resources and a lot of material that's available to you. So do watch out for our librarians. We do have other kinds of things I want to alert you to. We do have early registration taking place for the summer and for the fall. I am teaching the 102 class in the summer online, and I would love to see you all in there. So 102, that's going to be the continuation of astronomy. It will be stellar and galactic astronomy. What we're doing here in this class is sticking pretty much close to home. So we'll look at the planets, like our Saturn here, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Poor Pluto, it's a dwarf planet now. There are other dwarf planets as well. There are moons, there are comets, asteroids, meteors, the sun, the Oort cloud, the Kuiper belt. All of that is actually pretty close to home when we're talking about the wider universe. So take 102, plan to take 102. It will also have labs that you can do on your own, and it will also have a free textbook. So if you need 3 credits, please sign up for that. I will continue to tell you that over the course of time as well. We do have online tutoring center help. Contact them at this email here. And one of the things we also have are some different tutoring links at tutor.com. You're eligible for free tutoring from them. And we have a writing center, the COWS group, the Center for Online Writing Support, and they are still functioning as well. So all of these things are up and running and functioning for you. We won't have a lot of things that you'll need to turn in a draft for, but especially as we get closer to your final project, they might be able to help you out there. We do offer some counseling. It says walk-ins are accepted. One of the things to note is because, well, of course, social distancing and the campus is closed, they can actually do Zoom counseling. So, and that's confidential, that's free. I don't need to know anything about it. In fact, I don't want to know anything about it because that's up to you and them. So do work with them if you have any needs, especially as things may get stressful during this kind of environment. Then we also have a career center. Kayla will help you to craft a resume, to talk about interview questions, to talk about where there might be some job openings. She is still working during the course of our virtuality here as well. So take advantage of that. So I think that's all I need to cover in terms of our syllabus. If you have any questions, come to me on a Zoom meeting or send me an email. Don't be surprised if the question that you're asking, if it's already in the syllabus, I might direct you back and say that's on the syllabus page 5, or that's on the syllabus page 8, or whatever like that. If you're asking me a clarifying question, I will probably be more clarifying than that. But if you're asking me just a basic question that shows me, honestly, you haven't watched the video or you haven't read the syllabus, I will probably respond by watch the video and read the syllabus. There are, in fact, 80 students that I'm serving over the course of this next 8 weeks, and to try to keep some kind of balance in what everyone needs to know and what everyone needs to do, sometimes I need to send out the shortest message as possible just so that I can keep things going. But that being said, I want to make sure that you get full information. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I'm going to stop sharing this now here so you can just see me. I am sitting in front of a virtual background that's here. I'm not actually out in space with Saturn. Virtual backgrounds are a little bit tricky and a little bit funky. I'm going to show you a couple of different things that we have a possibility for. See, I can sit in front of the Northern Lights here, and it looks rather cool, but the truth is, I think if you were watching this for half an hour or 45 minutes, you might begin to get a little bit of motion sickness. I did have one friend I tested this on who said, yeah, that's going to be a problem after time. So I may have different space images behind me, or in fact, I may choose none, and you can just see where I live. And this poster over here will change over time as well. So the sort of the keep calm and carry on poster, you can sort of see there along the way. We'll do our best to keep things going along the way. But I think that's it for the syllabus now, and I thank you for your attention.